State your name for the record.
Jin Urso.
Forgery of imperial documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest.
On your own from the age of 15. Reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined.
This is a rebellion, isn't it?
We have a mission for you. A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
What will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight? What will you become?
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Worst Reviews. We are going to review a very small movie that's come out by Disney and Lucasfilm. It is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy guacamole, Batman. Or Obi-Wan. I don't know. What should we use?
Oh my Godzilla.
Anyway, oh my Godzilla. Star Wars is back. We are certified and ready to rock this movie, review it, whatever the wording is. But anyway, like, me and you talked about afterwards, like, how much we were just, our heart was racing afterwards. Like, I was so freaking, like, my heart, I still needed to calm down. We went outside, it was, like, raining a little bit, and it just felt nice to be outside, because I was so freaking, like, almost sweating, because freaking, like, there's no spoilers in this review, but the ending of that film, what should we go into first? I guess, freaking Felicity Jones, I don't know of anything she's really ever been in that's, like, a big blockbuster, but for, like, a actress to come on and do something like Star Wars, like, I think she did really well. I think she did really freaking well. Forrest Whitaker's in this film. Like, I am so happy. Like, The Butler is probably one of my favorite films that he's in of all time, and for him to come back and do Star Wars makes me really happy. The Baze Malbus character, I feel like I'm butchering his name, with Win Chang, I believe is his name, but also the other guy, the blind guy, Donnie Yen. I really freaking liked their characters in this movie. They were really likable. What did you think about the whole, like, blind thing? It kind of added something to it, didn't it, to you?
It almost had like a Daredevil feeling.
A Daredevil vibe where he was, like, very, like, he could really do things. Like, you're right. It really was. Like, it was a lot like the series. But it was just, instead, he's using the Force. And that's really cool. So in all the Star Wars films, they always, rather it's R2-D2 and C-3PO, or little old BB-8 in Force Awakens, which you like, and I do. I mean, I think you like all the droids, honestly, so far. And K2 is definitely a very likable droid. He's so sarcastic, he's so funny, and so expressive.
They're able to make characters that should not, quote-unquote, have expressions, such as Vader, things like that, like droids, but like you can see it all over their face, like what they're trying to say, or like what's going through their head when they're not speaking.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, you'll get a droid that says something, but the point is that you can't see their face, and you're actually really shocked at what they said, and that's what made K2 so funny. You don't see his face, so whenever he says something funny, like, the whole audience just roared. It was great. I love that droid so much, and he was doing things. Like, he's not like C-3PO or just, you know, doing all that. Like, he actually, like, did stuff in this movie that obviously you see in the trailer. He threw a grenade at stormtroopers. It was freaking amazing in the film in that moment. I think Gareth Edwards did a good job of bringing something different to Star Wars. Like, it's finally a Star Wars film. It's actually literally about war, and there's a lot of, like, really well done battle scenes. And I feel like, you know, the heaviness, the feeling of the movie is like, you know, we've had dark films before. Empire Strikes Back, like, ends straight up on a bad note, pretty much. and you know, no one was really expecting that when it came out, and but this film really like gives a certain feel.
Like throughout the film I could feel like the gravity of the situation that they were in, like how important it was that they succeeded in their mission, but also they were scared. They didn't know what was going to happen. Like
Yeah.
they had no idea what the Death Star was, what it was truly capable of.
Like, the Empire is terrifying. They have a huge influence at this point in the timeline of Star Wars. At this point, they're, you know, the Empire had recently rose, you know, and, like, it was just, it's so, there's so many, like, down to, like, how much in this film, like, you can feel, like, the dread, like, how on lockdown they have everything, like, you have to have, like, a code to get into somewhere or whatever, like, you can't just walk in and expect to survive, like, they will take you prisoner or murder you, and, like, that's the feeling I got, like, in most of this film, is he really made it feel, like, dreadful, in a good sense, you know, that's what the Empire is supposed to be.
Okay, so like watching the original trilogies, okay? I didn't know anything about it. Like I didn't know Vader died. Like I didn't know things like that. I knew there was a Death Star, I knew there was Vader. I didn't know both of them just died. Like I didn't realize that
Death Star twice.
yes, I didn't realize that there was this big mission and everything in order for them to succeed later in the original trilogies. I did not realize all the effort and work that was put into
And I didn't realize
being
the
able to do
scale
that.
of it until I saw this movie. Like, it gives a good perspective on, like, everything it took. Like, you know, like, there's, like I said, the Empire is just so freaking big and terrifying, like, that there's almost no hope at all. And that's what kind of this movie is literally, like, it's a metaphor. It's like, it's telling you, like, we're leading into a new hope, you know? So it's like, that's how it makes sense. And, like, in that way, it ties everything together gracefully. We will not tell you how any of this takes place, but I think it did a really good job, really good job of tying everything together and, like, really showing you how things lead into the original trilogy. Whenever I kind of thought how you felt, that it may be a very small deal. Like, it's not like a huge thing that they need to do. I figured it'd be like their side adventure and, you know, and all this stuff, but yeah, I didn't know that either until I saw this film, but it's actually a pretty big deal. I didn't realize, like, really how much battle sequences we were gonna get. It was really well done. Like, in the trailer you see, like, you know, him rocket launch that big freaking AT-AT, like, it, like, Gareth Edwards just does such a good job at making things seem really massive. It's just something about the camera angling, and something he did really well with Godzilla was he made everything seem very big. It's probably just the angling of, you know, like you're looking up at something instead of it just being like, oh, wide shot or whatever. Because in Empire Strikes Back, they looked really massive, but obviously they were, you know, like little puppet things. Everything just looked so much like the original trilogy. Like, she's really fresh off the original trilogy, so we're gonna have to watch them again to really give her, like, here's more Star Wars and here's more information. You'll probably learn more as you watch them again, but, like, straight up down to, like, the Stormtrooper armor, I just got so happy that they, like, obviously would use the same exact suits from the original trilogy, although they didn't look as, like, loopy and weird, because in the original trilogy there was moments where you could see, like, the helmets were kind of crooked and stuff, but they actually made them look really good, you know. And Force Awakens had a reason for there to be new Stormtroopers, because they were a new design by the First Order. But in this, it's like, literally, those are the Stormtroopers from the original trilogy. They look just like them. There's obviously some new designs. There's those weird black troopers. You had a name for them? The Death Troopers. That look really cool. A new design. Obviously, they're not in the original trilogy, but hey, they had to have something new for this film to come and just be like, here's this for your eyes. It's eye candy. There's some stuff in this film that gave me huge World War II vibes.
Yeah, like, the comparisons have already been made. I think that, like, Vader is Hitler, and then the Stormtroopers are the rest of his Nazis and everything, and just going back to the battle scenes, just the storming the beaches, like, it was like scenes out of any World War II film you've ever seen. Just Star Wars.
Yeah, wars this time. Finally, a war film with Star Wars. Star Wars has always been about intergalactic war, but I don't think they really ever gave it the feel of, like, war until now, because it's always been Jedi and Sith, and they can do all these things almost like magic instead of, like, actual physical. But this film is about physical warfare. Like, you have to, like, kill or be killed. It is no spoiler whatsoever. It's in the trailers. You see him show up in the trailers. The Dark Lord himself, Lord Vader, is in this movie. Holy crap. Just holy crap. Everything that involved him was so good. I'm not even going to give away how many scenes he's in. I'm just going to tell you that his introduction was cool. Freaking, like, there's something that he does in this movie that made me so happy. I was hoping, like, I was worried that it wasn't going to be in the movie, and then they did it, and I was just like, yes. I have made her a Raider fan after watching the original trilogy. Like, when it comes to just overall Darth Vader in the film, what did you think?
Overall, there wasn't enough, okay? I'll just say that.
There's never enough Darth Vader.
There's never enough, but considering the fact that I had just watched all the films through Force Awakens, which, by the way, when he reminded me that Vader was not going to be in that film, I was a little bit upset, but I mean, you can't really bring him back after you kill him off, so...
Yeah, because it was years later. That's what I had to explain.
Anyways, I was totally pumped to see him again. Like, the entire time, I was just like, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? Like, just totally the anticipation through the entire thing was just guessing when it was gonna happen.
And that made it really exciting. Because, like, you didn't know when they were gonna show him, and that made it really, really exciting, you know, like, anticipating that. He hasn't been on the big screen since Return of the Jedi. Like, you know, other than, like, video games and stuff like that, you know, like, he hasn't been in things. He was obviously very awesomely referenced in The Force Awakens with his melted mask and everything, but he's, like, on screen again as Darth Vader with the breathing and everything. It's so freaking cool. Like, and James Earl Jones has come back to reprise his role. He sounds good. Obviously, it's a new film, so the audio is going to be better than the old films where he's really bassy. Like, the freaking theater was like, like, with his voice, and it was so cool. And it's like, you know, I was really, really pleasantly surprised with the part he plays. I'm not going to say, like, anything other than that, but the part he plays in the film was just enough of what I needed. Just enough. I explained it to her as, like, this whole movie was just a big ice cream sundae. Darth Vader was the cherry. It just made the whole thing amazing, and I personally cannot wait to see it again.
The entire emotion of the film. If you can make a film to pull out my heartstrings, I definitely teared up quite a few times during the whole thing. Like, I was scared, I was sad, I was happy, I was feeling everything that the characters were
Everything
feeling.
Star Wars is supposed to give you. I mean, that's
And
the whole point.
it definitely accomplished that. And all those things considered, I'm going to have to give it a 10.
I think I'll go with, like, a 5. No, obviously I'm giving it a 10. I mean, like, you know, this isn't just, like, Star Wars fandom coming out of me. This is actually my legit opinion. I love this film. Rogue One gets a 10 from me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed our review, and if you've enjoyed Star Wars, definitely let us know in the comments what you thought about the film if you have seen it. And that wraps up our non-spoilers review. Stay tuned for more worse videos, because trust me, it gets worse. And may the Force be with you, always.